Hey, well, good morning, everybody. It's Marty, and I am just dropping the kids off at school and headed back home. And today's the first day back to school after the Christmas holidays and that winter break. So a little chilly out here. It's a beautiful morning, and I hope everybody's having a great week so far. So let's talk this morning a little bit. I want to talk to you about when your back is against the wall. You know, I briefly touched on this yesterday, that through the course of a year, when we're setting out to beat the one man, you know, to overcome and to become better this year than we were last year, and to beat that one man, which should be yourself. You should not be competing against anyone else. You should simply be set out to achieve more, do more, become greater, bigger, faster, stronger, with everything that God has created you for and to become. But there are moments in a year where you're going to find where your back is against the wall and you are feeling defeated, or you are in circumstances or situations, good morning, Kaylee, that are way beyond your control. They are way beyond what you can do, what your abilities, where it's impossible, where the circumstances appear to be impossible and you have no way out, and your back is literally against the wall. And real quickly, you know, just on that note, it pains me to say this, but because I am not an SEC fan, and I am definitely not an Alabama fan, but congratulations to Alabama on the national championship last night. It must have been an incredible game. Good morning, Pastor John, all the way out in Pakistan. Good morning, or I should say afternoon for you. But yeah, so they won the national championship last night. I didn't watch the game. I caught the last 3 minutes of the game and then the two possessions in the overtime, and it must have been just an incredible game. But my understanding is Alabama had their back against the wall during the whole game. And so, hey, congratulations, hats off to them, they won. But that's the point. When your back is against the wall, when you are up against all odds of achieving success or what it is God has called you to do, to accomplish and to fulfill, can I give you two things this morning that when your back is against the wall, what I believe is most important in order to achieve, obtain, overcome, and to get through those moments where everything is stacked against you. All the odds are against you. There is no way out. It is absolutely impossible, and you don't know what you're going to be able to do next. It's inevitable. It happens in our life. And when we've set out to do something great, to achieve something absolutely incredible, to do great things with the life that we have been given from our God, from our Creator, we're going to have those moments and those periods of time where our backs are against the wall. So here's two things, and I believe this with all of my heart. Number one, where is your faith? And really more of, who is your faith in when your back is against the wall? You know, I've learned through life just the valuable lessons that we need to have in life when it comes to having our backs against the wall and where our faith lies, or who does our faith lie in. And I want to encourage you this morning. I am a person that is very much opposed to religion and philosophies. But I am a man who truly and completely believes in having faith in our Creator, in God, the Creator of mankind, humanity, the universe, and in the giving of His Son, Jesus Christ, and His presence of His Holy Spirit to be with us, because life can get stacked against you. And I'm convinced, I am fully persuaded, my faith is totally and completely in the God of creation. Absolutely 100%. And having that faith, good morning, Carrie, having that kind of faith Everybody has a measure of faith, but we don't always put faith in the proper person or in the proper thing. And I want to encourage you this morning. I have found 100% of the time that my faith in God is what helps me when my back is against the wall, when it just seems inevitable. But the second thing I want to share with you this morning is so important when it comes to this is you got to have action. You can believe in whatever you want to believe, but if you don't act, then you are putting yourself in a situation, in a bind, to where in other words, if you just keep your back against the wall and you don't act upon your faith, guess what's going to remain? Your back against the wall, and circumstances are probably not going to change. And I want to encourage you this year, as you're setting out in 2018, you got one man to beat. That is yourself. You're doing everything you can to become bigger, faster, better, stronger with the greatness that you have been created for, and making this the best year of your life. That when you're placing your faith, and you're putting faith out there to believe that mountains are going to move, that rivers are going to part, that circumstances are going to change, that the impossible is going to somehow miraculously change and flip into the possible, that you not only do you have faith in the one who can do those things, but that you act. You have got to get up every day and you've got to move forward. You've got to make progression. You've got to put one foot in front of the other, and you've got to just take steps towards your goals, towards what you want to achieve, towards who you want to become, and all that you've been created for, so that the circumstances will change. One of my favorite stories in the Bible is this guy Peter, who is on a boat, and there's this raging storm, and you probably heard the story, and Jesus comes walking on the water, and Peter asks a question. He said, "Lord, if it's you, bid me to come." And good morning, sunshine. And what's incredible is that the Lord said, "Okay, Pete, come on out. Get out of here." Well, he had faith to believe that, that was God out there on the water, but he had to demonstrate that faith. And the dude got out of the boat and literally walked on water. Now, that's impossible. And now we know that, he took his eyes off of the prize and off of the goal and off of the presence of who was out there on the water, and that was Jesus, that was God, and he began to sink. But even in those circumstances, God reached down and picked him up. Here's my point. You've got to act. And I think for so many of us, we have a tendency to believe, but without action. And so I want to encourage you this morning, if your back is against the wall, if things are stacked up, if 2018 has started out with all odds stacked against you, listen, all odds last night by the end of the game were against Alabama. It wasn't looking good for them. From the get-go of the game, they were not looking good. I didn't watch the whole game, but just looking at the score and some of the statistics, I was just looking at stuff last night before I went to bed. Good morning, Gino and Selena. Good morning, guys. I have a hard time reading my screen. But the odds were stacked against them, but they stayed in the game. They kept acting. They kept believing. And before the end of the night, they became the national champions. You want to become a national champion? You want to become greater than yourself last year? You got to act. So listen, everybody, I want you to get out there today, and despite the circumstances around you, or whenever it comes along in 2018 and your back is against the wall, have faith and take action. Those two things are going to move the circumstances, and you're going to be able to break through. I want everybody to have a great day. I look forward to being right back here with you again tomorrow. God bless. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. And make this year the year where you've got one man to beat and you become better than yourself. God bless.